morning everyone, it's Ruby the Conscious Crone, and today I would like to talk to you about Reiki, somatic releases and complex grief. Currently working with a man who is really struggling through the grief process, and yesterday we had a talk about him having a Reiki session. It was really nice, very gentle. And one of the things that I picked up on initially was there was so much heat in the body, almost like that fire energy. You know, if you think about the frustration of, or irritation or anger, you know, those kind of emotions, but also it could be that there is worry, it could be that there's guilt, there might be some shame. There's so many different things that being in the process of trying to work through grief, it can bring up so many conflicting emotions that you are trying to struggle with the loss of somebody, like coming to terms with that, but then there's also these other feelings that are coming up and you may struggle to kind of sit with them. So that's what I felt initially, and when I spoke to him about it afterwards, you know, when we sort of did the first part of it, he was like, I feel a lot cooler now. And indeed he did. He was much cooler to the touch. But then as we kind of sat and just spoke a little bit, I then was starting to pick up energy points in my body that were corresponding to where I now was being guided to put the Reiki, you know, put my hands where I was being guided to go. And the points that were coming up were very much just like, it was like a blockage here in the throat chakra. It was coming down into the respiratory, like the lung and heart area, very much there. But then the other place that I was being guided to was the left hip and the left knee, and also the stomach area. So it's sort of moving around of hands. And when I started working in these areas, there was such a massive somatic release for this man, and very jerky body movements, almost like a frantic cycling. If you think of, you know, when I think about the spiral energy, like undoing that spiral, walking out of a maze that you might find yourself in where you don't know the direction that you should be traveling in. Very, very rapid, almost like an undoing, an unpeeling, an unfurling. Very, very cathartic. And this went on for quite a long time. And again, I was just guided, right, hands here. This is now where you need to be laying your hands on. So hands-on healing for this particular session. And also that intention of, I know this Reiki energy will go where it's needed. And then just a very deep release. And then it just came to a natural end. And they seem so much more peaceful in themselves. So I will be picking up with them today. They've had time to go home and have a good night's sleep. And it will be interesting to see how they're feeling today. So yeah, so grief is just one of the ways that Reiki can really support you. And the somatic releases, I've seen so many different ones over the years and had countless conversations with people that have come in, people that have not been able to cry, people that have been really struggling to sleep, to actually process, to move on. You know, that's just 4 examples there, and Reiki has helped them every single time to move through that process, that point that they're at in their life. There was so many stories that I could share, but I just wanted to share this one particularly because I know men really struggle to actually open up, and I know that they can hold so much inside of themselves and they can be imploding. Outwardly they can seem fine, but inwardly it's all dissolving and falling away, and they're really struggling. And I think in this time where suicide is one of the biggest killers of men. I would like to say that men, if you are struggling, then maybe Reiki could be something that could really help you. So if that's resonated either with you, or if you know a man that could really benefit from having a Reiki session, then get them to contact me, rubyconsciouscrone.com. That's CRONE.com, conscious, CONSCIOUS, crone.com, and maybe we can help. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.